Welcome to Little Hamster Crochet. My name is Helena and today I'm going to be trying something brand new. So if you have been on social media lately, I feel like filet crochet has been really popping off recently. And also I really liked this pattern, which I'm sure you have also seen. It is this one. And I found it on, or I found the chart on Guppycrochet.com. It's free. It's just like the graph or the chart to follow. And I'm gonna give it a shot. I have never done this before. So let's hope it goes okay, I guess. So the website says, I used filet crochet with just one chain space in the open spaces, and the filled blocks have one double crochet in the middle. This helps in avoiding the design becoming too wide. Oh, and a size 10 crochet thread and a 1.5 millimeter hook. I don't have that and I'm not gonna buy that. So I'm gonna use this. It's a one weight, but I would call it like kind of a thin one weight, which I think is fingering weight, maybe. I think it's gonna look badass in black. Yeah, it should work just fine. It's just gonna be bigger than the one they made. I'm also gonna be using a 2.5 millimeter hook. She is small. I do have a 2 millimeter, but I feel like that's gonna be too small and it's just gonna not really work out. So I think we're just gonna get started. The chart has squares on it, and the square is not a stitch. I think I technically understand what I'm doing here, but it's just gonna be a little complicated to start doing it. But you think that I could just double the amount of boxes, right? Because if because it would be, yeah, I think that works. Just doubling the starting chain. I'm scared. It's literally just string. It doesn't matter. Don't be scared. It's just the string. Don't be scared. It is literally yarn, man. The worst that can happen is that I fuck it up and then I start again, which is fine. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and chain. Since this is a free pattern, a free chart, I'm gonna share this information, but note that the pattern designer does not allow you to sell or reproduce the pattern, and you're not allowed to sell finished items made from the pattern, because I think they sell it themselves. Intended for personal projects, gifts, or donations only. Thank you for respecting my work and supporting independent creators. But since it is a free chart, I am going to tell you that there are 41 boxes, which in my head means that I should chain 82 plus 3? Oof, I don't know. That's where my brain went first, so I guess I'm gonna do 82 plus 3. Maybe we'll see how that goes, shall we? This is 82 chains. This is gonna be big. And then to make like the first double crochet, I chain 3 plus 1, and I put a double crochet in the 5th stitch. This is so hard to see, but that makes a tiny little square. I don't know if this is gonna be right, and it's kind of annoying that I won't find out until I'm over here. I'm not the kind of person who can do this. Like I'm not a numbers gal. Okay, so I'm just gonna try this, see how it goes, and I'll be doing double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, etc. And I guess I'll check in when I find out if this first row works or not. Your guess is as good as mine. Honestly, your guess is probably actually better, because I have no idea. Okay, so first I saw that I had one chain left over, and I thought, dang, missed one chain. Then I looked further down and realized, oh, actually, I didn't skip a stitch here, which means I actually did it. Then I counted my squares. I have 42, and I'm supposed to have 41. What do I do? How do I fix this? Okay, so I have one too many squares, which means I have... This is hurting my brain. You would think that means that I wasn't supposed to do the extra chains I did at the start, right? Maybe I was supposed to only do like one extra chain and then do a stacked single crochet in the second chain from the hook, because then I think that would get rid of my extra square. It would also just look better. Yeah, I guess I'll try that. So I'll get rid of 3 chains since I added 4. Yes, I think I added 4. So I'll frog back, and then I'll remove 1, 2, 3. And then in the second chain from the hook, I'm gonna do a stacked single crochet, chain 1, and then I'm gonna keep doing what I was doing, right? Double crochet, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1. And in theory, that should fix my problem. I have a tendency to always wear black, but especially when I'm working with this yarn, just so that you can't see it at all. Every time, man. Shit. I still have a chain left over. How does that make sense though? Because I added 1 chain, but then I skipped that chain to put in my stacked single. Did I accidentally like forget a skip? It doesn't look like it, but this doesn't make any sense. Like, why would... Maybe I should have watched like a single tutorial on how to do filet crochet before trying to do this. I was a little overconfident, thinking, oh yeah, I got this. Okay, let me count my squares and see if I have the right amount of squares. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 40. Huh? Now I have 40 squares and I'm supposed to have 41. And I'm missing... I have 1 extra chain, so I'm missing 1 chain to make that happen. So I have to go back, add 1 more chain, skip that chain, make a stacked single, and then keep going, right? Ugh. Maybe I just didn't do the right number of chains when I tried to double the chart in the beginning, because I added a chain and then I skipped a chain, and then I need 1 more chain. So I guess, yeah, I'll add 1 more chain, skip it, and then do a stacked single crochet, chain 1. Let's try this again. I feel like I've got it down now. Okay, hopefully. Let's try this one more time. Okay, this has got to be good. I don't have any leftover chains this time. I made it into the very last chain. It is 41. That feels good. So what the heck did I do, actually? I took the amount of squares, did double the chains, and I did +2. But my guess is that I just messed up the first time on how many chains I did. I feel like I was probably 1 short without realizing. So I don't know this completely certain, but I think I did 2 chains per square +1, and then I skipped 1 and did a stacked single, and then I did, you know, chain 1, skip 1, double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 till the end. I think so. Hopefully if you want to make this, that made some sort of sense. Okay, but now that we have the base, it is so much simpler, because now, at least for a few rows, we only have to follow this pattern. So just stacked single, chain one, skip one, double crochet, chain one, skip one, double crochet into the same double crochets from the previous row. So right now I need to do 3 more rows for a total of 4 rows of squares. Yes. And also, I was about to say it's not as wide as I anticipated, but also I'm gonna probably put a border around here. Maybe it will be pretty wide. Regardless, 3 more rows of this, and then we start the actual pattern. Whew. Okay, friends, we have 4 rows of just the squares, and now we're gonna get into the sword portion. And going off of what it said on the website where I downloaded the chart, it says the filled blocks have 1 double crochet in the middle. So I'm gonna give that a try, make sure I do my counting correctly, because I guess I don't tend to do that. Because we're starting with like the tip of the sword down here in the middle, and if that is off center, that's going to be a bad day in about 14 rows. So I'm going to concentrate on this, and I will check in when I have a little bit more done and we can see the pattern starting to take shape. I made it to the point where I'm putting in the first block thing. But here's my question. Do I put the extra double crochet in the chain space, or do I put it in the chain? Because you chain 1 in between all of them, right? So do I go like around the chain or into the chain? Let me just try both and we'll see what looks better. Yeah, I think going into the chain space, just going like straight into the hole instead of trying to get into the chain itself between the stitches. I think that's probably a better solution. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this right here is gonna be the tip of the sword, somehow. All right, friends, I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for right now. It's getting pretty late. I am currently on row 26 out of 75. So that's not too bad for one evening of work, basically. And as you can see, we're starting to get up higher on the blade here, and it's looking so cool. I'm really excited. The plan is to go up until I finish the chart, obviously, and then I'm gonna do some kind of border around it. In the photo, it looks like maybe 2 rows of a V-stitch and then a scallop border. I don't know, we'll see what we do. What I'm scared of with the scallop border is that it's gonna get, that the scallops themselves are gonna like droop once it's put on the wall, but I don't know. Regardless, I need to finish this first, so I'm gonna do that. I would say I'm about halfway-ish on the blade itself, and then there's the hilt or whatever. I was a little skeptical at first of using this yarn that's a little bit thicker, because I felt like my double crochet blocks, like the color of it, was too gapey compared to this. Like, it's not that different. And up close, I was like, you cannot see this. But when you hold it up, especially against this background here, you see it very well. So that's not an issue. Obviously, I wouldn't put it on a black wall, for example, but my whole apartment is this. That's gonna look really nice. I'm very excited. But like I said, that's enough for tonight. I'm gonna keep working on this later, some other day. and I'll update you as we go along. Hey friends, it's been a couple days. I did a little crocheting off camera, and this is how far I've gotten. It's hard to see. It's looking so cool, and I am almost done with a blade actually. It looks really cool. I have finished row 43 out of, what was it, like 75 or something? I might be able to finish the chart today, maybe. But this was the easy part, because there's not that much that changes, you know? Like at the tip of the blade, you just do it one wider every now and again. But now we're getting into more of a design with the hilt. We'll see what I can get done. I've also been just marking off on the graph, which I think has been very helpful, because when I do any type of like tapestry crochet or now filet crochet, I find it hard to see where I am and what I've done, especially when I come back to it like the next day or whatever. I find it hard to sort of look at what I've done and immediately recognize where that is on the graph. So it's been really helpful to just like cross it off. If I had a printer, I would probably print it out and then cross it off, but I don't. So this is what we're doing. I can show you. Here's what it looks like. So I've just been like editing the graph. I made a copy, and then I just draw a line through how far I've gotten. And then at the bottom, I didn't have to do that as much, as you can see, because it was easier to tell. But then I started doing more and more. That's what I'm doing. Now it's time for the hilt. If I can finish it today, that would be really great. And then I can figure out what I want to do as a border, and also how I plan to hang this. Because I want to put it on my wall in my living room, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. We'll see. First off, I need to finish it. Anyway, so let's get some work in and do that. Hey, so funny story. I've been sitting here crocheting. I finished row 49. What was I on before? Like 45 or something. And my wrist hurts. So I'm gonna have to stop for a while, take a break. I was ready to just knock it out, but I guess not. So this is what the start of the hilt looks like. If you didn't know, I got tendonitis a couple months ago, right here, which is weird. It's on my left hand, and it's here. Regardless, I need to be very careful with my wrist, so it doesn't get worse or do any irreparable damage, because then what do I do? Gonna take a break, gonna keep working later, see if that's okay, and I'll update you when I have something else to show you, I guess. Super funny, hilarious story. I was working the first row of the hilt, which is row 51, and then I realized I had messed up on row 44 and I didn't catch it, and that messed up everything after that. So what happened is basically I got lazy with the squares on either side of the design. So on, well, I think that's my stitch marker right there, on that row, I like skipped a square or something, which meant that I had the wrong amount of squares on this side, all the way up. Yay! But now I'm back. I'm about to start row 51 again. But my dream of finishing this today doesn't seem super likely, because it's already like past 5 o'clock. I'm gonna put in the work as much as my little fingies can handle, and then, do you hear that? I'm fine. Yeah, I'm gonna work on this as much as I can. I have to have dinner and things, but we'll see how much I can get done. I mean, worst case, I finish it like tomorrow. Doesn't matter, really. I'm not actually on a time crunch. I like it so much that I want it to be done so I can hang it on the wall. But yeah, we're just gonna keep going. I've finished and recounted and made sure that everything is correct up to row 50. And that means I have 25 rows to go. That seems like a lot, but to be fair, like the last 4 are like no design, just the squares. And obviously since we're like, we've got the blade and then we go out for the hilt, but then we go back in again for the handle. So I'm not sure if this is going to be like super complicated or easier. So let's just do it, I guess. Hey friends, I just got home from work. I went to the office today. And yesterday I actually managed to finish the whole chart portion. So here's what it's looking like. Hold on, it's easier to see here probably. Wow. It looks really cool and I'm really happy with it, but it's a lot harder to see in person. I am gonna have it up against a wall of this color, which makes it easier, but yeah, it may have been easier to see if I did it in white or like a cream or something. But this was the yarn that I had, so. Oh, I just realized I could hang it this way too. But yeah, the whole point is that I want to hang it on the wall, but I'm not entirely sure how to do that without it sagging, I guess. Because it's like, yeah, of course you can just like put a thumbtack through the corners, but then it like sags in the middle and it's gonna stretch out. And then it's okay, well you could put like a dowel along the top, which might be what I end up doing, but I want to do a scalloped border, and that's not really gonna work if I do the dowel, at least not on the top portion. But then if I do scallops around the other 3 sides and not the top, that's gonna look weird. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do. Regardless, I do need a border, and that's probably gonna make the corners not like curl as much, I hope. And also the sides that are on the ends are a little chunkier, I guess, than the rest of it. So like the corner here, for example. And that's just because I did stacked single crochets instead of a chain 3 or whatever on the ends. I don't know, but it looks cool as shit though. Really nice. So I need to decide what border I'm doing and how I'm gonna hang it up. And I need to decide those 2 things kind of at the same time, because if I'm gonna work a dowel or something into the top of it, then I want to do that at the same time. Maybe this would fit better to be like to be on a table or flat somewhere, but I don't want to do that. I want it on my wall. So maybe I should like Google around, see if I can find any tips. Also, dowels for some reason are near impossible to find in my area. I don't know why, but every like craft store and everything that I've looked at, even online, so difficult to find. And if I do find them, they're too thick, or they're far too long, or they're way too short. Yeah, if they're too long, I can cut them down. But if they're too thin and too short, there's not really much I can do. So yeah, I'll have a look around, see if I can figure out what I want to do, and I'll update you. In the photo on the website where I got this graph, it looked like the border around was one or two rows of a V-stitch and then a row of scallops around. I really like the scallops. They make it look so nice, and it gives it like a dainty touch, which I think is really cool, along with like the sword, you know, because the sword motif is like more harsh, but then the scallops makes it dainty, if that makes sense. Also, a little note, I think it would be easier to see the design. It's very easy to see for you in the camera, but for me, it's not, I can see it, but it's not as clear as it is on the camera. I think it would have helped if I did a smaller hook with this yarn, but I did use a 2.5, but maybe if I used a 2mm, it would have looked even better and been more like the filled squares would be tighter, less gappy, so it would be maybe more clear. Or maybe this is just the kind of thing that just does the best when you use lace weight yarn or crochet thread. I was scared about the size, but I think it's a pretty good size actually. I don't want to add too much to the length on it. It's not as massive as I feared it would be. So that's good. I've got some thinking to do and some searching and Googling to do. I'll catch up with you when I have a game plan for how I'm gonna do the border and how I'm gonna hang it up. Sound good? Hello, hello. Small update. I think I have settled on doing a dowel at the top and the bottom, but I'm gonna have to order dowels and I have to buy a 20 pack because it's the only thing I found. I'm gonna have 18 extra because of course, but that's just gonna have to be the way it is, I guess. So I'm gonna put this aside until I get the dowels, and then I'll start like going around and doing the single crochets. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna do single crochets, but I'm gonna think on it. I can't do it right now anyway, so putting this aside for a little bit. Hello friends, good morning. It's been a few days at this point. As you saw, I did go and buy some dowels from the craft store, and I went ahead and I painted them black because I feel like that's gonna look a lot better than seeing them very clearly as the light wood color. Oh, this is Winnie the Pooh. Big comfy, I'm tired sweater. At this point, it's time for the border, and I don't really know what I want to do. Oh, I look so tired. Maybe because I am, I guess. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to do. I was thinking of doing a row of just the double crochet like squares, turning in the corner and then going down the long side as well. But I don't know how that would look. So I'm considering just going around the whole thing with single crochets, and then on round 2 of the single crochets, I just attach the dowel on the top and the bottom. I know I want to do something because on the sides here, it's hard to tell, but because I did stacked single crochets on the sides, the very left and very right side is a little like thicker than the rest. So I definitely want to do some kind of border, but it might end up just being some single crochets. I think that would also look the nicest. So yeah, I've decided, I guess that's what I'm gonna do. So my yarn is here, so I'm just gonna go across the top and then down, across, up, and then I'm gonna see how that looks. I might want to do 2 rows and then attach the dowel, but when I get back up here, I'm gonna single crochet around the dowel across the top, go back down, and then another dowel at the bottom, because I want that dowel on the bottom to like sort of weigh it down a little bit. Not a lot, obviously, but just like straighten it out, weigh it down a touch, just so that it lays nicely, hangs nicely. That's the plan. And then it should be done. And then we can hang it on the wall. It's gonna be exciting. So that's gonna be my goal today. And I will see you probably when it's done. Wow. Same day, different shirt. Don't worry about it. Can you see it? I finished it, kind of. Here's what it looks like. I put a dowel on the top and the bottom. Looks nice. So for the outline, I did, on the top and bottom, I did 1 single crochet in the chain space and 1 single crochet in the double crochet of the last row. And then on the sides, I ended up doing 2 single crochets in each. It's not a chain space, but like on each double crochet, and then 1 single crochet in like the start of the round where the 2 meet. That was too many single crochets. Yeah, so I did that all the way around, and then I got back up here, single crocheted across this one, and then when I got to this side, ready to go down, I started putting 1 single crochet in every single crochet, and quickly realized it was waving. So what I ended up doing instead is I did, you can barely see, but I did 1 single crochet in every other single crochet. I didn't do any like proper decreasing, I just skipped every other one, and it actually ended up making kind of a nice border, I think, because it has some holes in it. Went down, did the bottom dowel, and then the same thing on the other side going up. And then here's my yarn still attached because I hung it up. Oh, also doing the single crochets every other one on the sides really made it a lot straighter on the sides. So I hung it here just because I have a random nail here on the wall. So I hung it up to see what it looks like. Let me flip you around. And here it is, right? I need to adjust some of the stitches on the dowels so that it's like not like that. But I was thinking about it, because usually when you make a tapestry and stuff, you attach, or you do yarn, like a string of yarn from here to here that kind of goes like this, and then you hang it up here, right? You know what I mean. And I was going to do that, but when I look at it, I'm not sure, because it makes sense to do that on tapestries, but since this one has just like holes in it everywhere, I don't have to do that. But I think I'm gonna try, I think, just to see how that would look. I just attached it like really quick, loosey-goosey, and I think that looks goofy because the yarn is so thin that it looks like disproportionate, I think. Yeah, I don't think I like it. I think I'm just gonna end like right here and then just hang it by the holes, I guess. But that does mean it's done. So all I need to do is weave in my ends and hang it on the wall. It's going out in my living room as a part of my semi-gallery wall-ish. Let's finish this thing, and then I'll show you the reveal. And there you have it. That concludes my first experience trying filet crochet. It was a lot of fun, and I'll definitely be doing it again in the future. It is meant to be done with crochet thread though, and I do think that is probably a better idea. But other than that, I'm really happy with how everything turned out. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like me to try. My links and the link to Guppycrochet will be in the description. Make sure to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on my next one. And I will see you then. Bye!